Yo guys, what is going on? Welcome back to another video on the channel. Happy Saturday morning and Saturday afternoon to a lot of you. We are recording a new video today because we have two incredible codes that were added into the database. You guys love these videos on the channel. I love making these videos, so I guess we love it. Foot Scoreboard, the ever so reliable source of codes that are added into the game, which is kind of like leaks, but not like leaks at the same time. It's good to know about codes that are added into the game because usually when EA adds these, we are going to be getting these soon. So we have two codes added into the code, and it was, first of all, an 89 overall max World Cup hero, and then an 86 plus Team of the Week player pack. Now, both of these packs are very good. And actually, at first glance, when you see the 89 max on the hero, you say, well, are all the bad players excluded from that? Will it be cheap? And what's interesting is that a lot of the players that aren't that good are the 90 plus players. So the best players are actually in that pack. And that's what makes it very exciting. So we're going to be going through all this stuff today. If you enjoy the video, drop a thumbs up. Really, with these videos, what we do is we kind of prepare for these SBCs. There's an outside chance that it could come out today or tomorrow, Saturday or Sunday. I doubt it. It's usually Monday for these packs. Very rare on Saturday that we get content like this. Monday has kind of been the day. So we've had two of these types of packs so far this year. We've had more than two of these packs, like generally, but we've only had two, I believe, rating restricted, like icon or hero packs. So the first one was way earlier in the year, about a month ago, and it was an 84 and an 86 squad for a max 86 base icon. Now, a lot of the good players were not in this pack. The best players were Hullet and Vieira. A lot of the best players were not in this pack. So it only needed a Team of the Week for the 86, and I think this came out to be about 100K, which at the time, this was pretty good value, this SBC. Most people really enjoyed this SBC. I thought it was really good value. And then we also had an 87 max hero. This one was a little bit worse value because EA had kind of made it a little bit more expensive, I believe. Or was it one squad? I don't remember. Let's see. Was it only one squad? Oh, no, it was only one squad. So an 85 rated, though. It was only one squad, but the opportunity of players in there was a little bit worse. I remember I think I had got Campos, but you know, that's always the risk that you are going to take when you do these packs. I'm pretty sure I got Campos. Did I not get Campos? Let's just confirm. I got Campos. So the good news is with this pack coming out, there's a lot of really crazy players in this pack, which is just, I think, good to look forward to. So if we go to our ever so goated website, Futbin, and we search 89, and we're going to look at heroes right now. So basically, you've got JJ in there at 1.1 mil. Yaya Toure at 2 mil. You can see people are starting to sell some of these cards in anticipation of this pack. We also are going to have Black Friday coming around the corner, which we will talk about as well. That's going to be next week, so we've got to talk about that because that's also crazy. So that's going to be next week. Brolin at 640K, Mascherano, Marquez, Aloeiron. People are calling him the best player in the game right now. It's probably true post-patch. Pace is really important. Donovan in this pack. You've got Smolarek, who's currently extinct. I don't know why. It doesn't really make sense why he's extinct. Yes, it's a good card, but I don't really know why he's extinct. 480K for him. You got Marquisio, one of the best players in the game, at 1.33 mil. Was extinct yesterday. Capdevia, Nakata, Cool, Dirk Nowitzki, Campos, Freddie, Joe Cole, Cahill, Govu, Aljaber, Crouch, and Dempsey. So all of these players you can get out of this pack. It totals in to be 3, 6, 9, like 12, 15, 18, 20, probably 25 to 30 players in this pack total, somewhere around there. So yeah, I think about 25. Two of these players on this page are SBC. Now, in terms of like the ones that are being discluded from this pack or not included, Forlan, Voller, Papin, Lucio, Kohler, Carvalho. So for me, yeah, it sucks, right? Like two really good strikers and Lucio. Obviously, you know, 50% are really good players, but Papin, Kohler, and Carvalho are just not really players I think you'd love to have. But yeah, so maybe there's some good players missing out. I mean, they're all usable, the ones that are not in there, but anytime that you have a chance of getting like Yaya Toure and Marquisio and these types of players, and it's like a smaller pool, you know, it's more limited, you have a higher chance. I think it's a W because Yaya Toure and Marquisio are genuinely like end game cards. It's as end game as it gets, even a couple months from now. They're literally awesome. It's like World Cup Vieira level. So that's where this pack is actually really interesting, and I think it's gonna be out on Monday. So those will be the players that are available in this pack. And in terms of, if we go back to, hopefully it'll go back. Yep, it does. In terms of value that you're looking at here, you know, we have to look at the players in this pack and how much they cost to really understand how much EA is going to make it. We saw that we had an 85, you know, rated for the 87 hero. For the base icon, we had an 80-46. Those were both around like 100K. I think the hero was 80 to 90, somewhere like that. And I think the base icon was like 120. So we take a look at it. If we say we have about 25 players, right? So you have 3, 4, 5, 6. You only have 6 players in this pack under 100K. So that's something to point out. And you've got 3 players between 100 and 200K. So you've only got 9 players in this pack less than 200K. And if you put these 2 players, Park Ji-sung and Carvalho, in here, right? You've got, I think, like 10 or 11 players. I forgot my math here. I think we're on 9 or something. I don't know. Listen, about half the pack is less than 300K. So that's also something you do need to understand. That's a big deal, right? That is a very big deal. And so that would mean that EA has the chance to potentially put the premium on making it a little bit more expensive. Now, I don't think it's going to be 300K, but I do think it's going to be 250K, 200K. I would be really surprised if EA came out and released this SBC at less than 200K. That would really, really, really shock me. So what does that look like in terms of an SBC? And, you know, how can we prepare for that, right? How can we prepare? You know, the World Cup starts tomorrow. I don't think we'll get any like game-breaking content that'll come out tomorrow. So the way that I want to look at it is, let's look at Eto's SBC. And let's go ahead and see how much like an 87 is right now. So an 87 is like 160K without an inform, right? So that's possible. You know, I think that the thing is, right, you've got so little amount of players, like you don't have like the normal heroes where you've got all these low-rated players that are like discard. You've only got really Campos and like a couple other players that are really at that discard price, which is probably going to make this SBC a bit more expensive because EA knows that those players are not going to be super common. So I think 200K, 250 sounds about right. Based on current prices of fodder, an 87 and an 85 wouldn't be that far off, in my opinion. That would make it like 230, and if they threw in a team of the week for that, it could also like really make sense. They could also just do an 88. You know, we could see that happening. That's also really possible. And in my experience of like just recently looking at the market and seeing what goes on, you know, the huge money in all of these investments and everything is like, for example, when EA releases the team of the week packs, right? And it's always about the requirement, right? So if it's not about the rating anymore. When they release the team of the week packs and they say, you know, 85 overall and higher players, that's really what goes up. If it's like 384 overall and higher players for the, you know, the 84, that's when you see 84 is really going up. So that's also going to be a big variable with this SBC. Like, does EA just release a squad rating, or do they also release like a squad rating and then you need, you know, let's say it's an 87 squad, but you need 2 players 89 overall and higher. Well, what that's going to mean is that 89s are going to go to the moon, and, you know, you're not going to be able to kind of put a squad in of all 87s. So that's really what that's going to mean. So then you're going to have like situations where people are going to use 2 89s and then all like 86s and a couple 87s for the rest. But that's when you're going to see like 87s not go up that much and 86s really do well. But that's going to be impossible to predict. We're not going to be able to predict that. It's just going to be impossible. So for me, I think this SBC is somewhere between that 200 to 300K range. You might see some team of the week requirement in there. You could also see, I don't know, maybe there's a chance I'm trying to think of curveballs here. Really, team of the week is the only thing I can see right now, where you might see some higher rated team of the weeks, like 85 plus going up. So it could be worth the stock. You know, you still got, I'm sure there's many team of the weeks from previous team of the weeks that are very, very cheap and undervalued. Look, this is like, I'm not going to say on this video that Trippier is a good investment, right? It's not really what I'm getting at. But in terms of like the value of a player, you know, an 86 rated inform at 14K, 15K, something like that, that's where you look to have like an outside chance of a no risk investment. It really is not risky. And this is a play that you wouldn't buy more of like one. You just would put one in your club. And I'm not specifically saying this player. I'm just giving you an example of, there's been times in the past where we start to see like campaign player picks and things like that coming out, where we get these high rated informs that start going to the moon. So, you know, fodder investing, I'm not the largest fan of, but preparing for these packs is a really good way to make coins. It really is. It's been a really good way to make coins this year. So let's take a look at, you know, like just fodder in general before we kind of segue into something else here, because there's just so much to talk about in this video. So first of all, let's take a look at 86s. You know, what are the price of these? Now, off the top of my head, 86s are usually very high when they're like 16K and low when they're like 13. So right now they're not very expensive, right? That's nice. That's nice to see. They're about 14K. I do think as we head into like Monday, there's going to be more investors. Now they are up definitely today, right? Since that code got added and they started rising, they'll probably keep rising. You know, and I think most people will try to do this pack. So keep that in mind. Even if people invest for this pack, I still feel like most people are going to do it. So I think for me, the safest investment you could probably go with is 86s and 87s. Now, you've got the situation too where if it doesn't come out today, the fodder market might go down a bit, because for some reason people expect this stuff to come out on Saturday. There is always a chance, but usually it's Monday. So you might have people right now, this always happens before content time every day. A couple hours before content, you know, fodder starts going up, people start panic buying. You can see Trent yesterday was like 16, now he's 18, right? So if you're looking to get in, the best time to get in would be usually after content, when there's nothing and maybe there's a tradable pack with some supply on the market. Usually that's the best time, you know, to really get in on a lot of these cards. So that's what I'm looking at. So for me, I think 86s and 87s are probably your safest bet. If you had a full 87 squad that came out, we just looked at it, it's like 160. And if you had a full 86 that came out, it's 100. So I can't guarantee, you know, that these are going to bang, but you probably can't go wrong getting 86s and 87s. Your outside shot for a requirement, right, is like maybe EA does this max rating thing. Now, if they do that, you probably will see some 86s and 89s going up, because there's no way they wouldn't say, okay, you need 288 overall and higher players if it's an 86 or an 87, right? So it would have to be that. I would be surprised if they did like 90. I don't think they would do that. But you can see Diaz 25 to 26. And this is an SBC for me that people are going to do. You know, we've had times in the past where you have this base icon pack that comes out and fodder goes up like ×2 because everyone does it at the time of the year. It's very like popular. This is one of those SBCs. And what I will also say is that EA has been making a lot of these SBCs really affordable this year. We used to have base icon packs that were genuinely like 500K, 600K in the second month of FIFA, which was just always ridiculous. But EA has gotten a lot better this year at releasing a lot of these packs. At least if you know, want to gamble on them, you can, which is nice. Like in the past, sometimes you literally had to submit your whole entire club for the pack. So it's been a bit disappointing in the past. And yeah, I think that they've gotten a lot better with this. But really no risk. I would look at like 86 is probably at 13. 87s at like 16 and a half, 17 if you can snipe them. And 88s as close as 88s for me, as close under 26 as you can. I feel like those are probably the best looks that you guys can go for. If you're wanting to invest, if you're wanting to make some coins. And a lot of you guys watch this video might just want to prepare for this pack so you don't have to overpay. That's also a thing. The one variable with some of the rising of fodder on the market can also be that you could argue that some people do have a lot of untradeable golds because of the player picks recently. You know, when I take a look at my untradables, I definitely picked up a couple of fodders over the last week. I have Courtois. I did just rinse them all into an SBC, but Navas, I've got a couple like Pat the Glories that I'm probably not going to use. Rodri. So you do have some people that are going to be able to kind of use some fodder in their club. But at the end of the day, something big comes out. People are going to have to buy fodder off the market to go ahead and do it. So let's talk about another thing. And this is going to be a long video because we're going to talk about another thing. Okay, so this is also what's really interesting. Now, usually when we get these types of packs, guys, we see panic selling on the market. Now, we are already starting to see a little bit of panic selling, right? Yaya Toure was like 2.4. Yes, he's lengthy, right? So maybe less people are interested, but that doesn't really matter with a card like this. That's like saying you don't want to use Vieira anymore. So he was 2.2 last night. He's down at 1.94. A lot of these cards, you know, are still high in value, but I think they're going to go down quite a bit heading into this pack. I really feel that way. You may have a trend today where some of these cards actually rebound. Like Marquisio was just 1.33. He's back to 1.4 because maybe the pack is expected to come out today. It doesn't come out today. These cards might go up because people might buy back in. But I think a lot of these cards are going to head downwards into Monday. And when people don't pack the good players out of these packs, you may see a rise with these cards. We talked about this with the last time with the heroes, we saw like Smolarek and Marquisio and all these cards rise a ton after the SBC because people didn't pack them. JJ is a really interesting one to me. A lot of people want to try him out. He looks incredible. Any card that's like probably 150K, 200K plus that people aren't going to pack. So examples of that, Park Ji-sung, Dirk Nowitzki, Joe Cole. I really like Joe Cole. He's already cheap. He's going to go lower. Govu probably, Aloe, like this is probably the best buy you can make. Yes, the most traders are going to be buying this one, but this is probably hands down the best one you can get because so many people are interested in him right now. These cards heading into this pack will continue to head downwards. When the pack comes out, you should start seeing a lot of the cards in this pack that are hard to get or not as common rising after 30 minutes, and there will probably be a crazy rise. Now, the one variable with that, you've got Black Friday out this Friday, and the pre-Black Friday promo starts this Thursday. We'll make videos on that probably Monday, but that's also on the horizon, so watch out for that. But this should also be, if you don't want to buy fodder, a great way to make coins. If you're just a guy with a couple mil, you've got a mil, maybe 600K, you buy 2 Joe Coles in the panic. When is the best time to buy? Well, it's impossible to know the best time to buy, guys. You can never time that, but as close to the SBC as you can, you know, kind of get, so you can minimize the chance of the card going lower. All right, now, one last thing to talk about. I know I've been rambling, and there's a lot of information in this video, so sorry. Okay, we've also got an 86 plus Team of the Week pack coming. I don't know when this is going to be. This could be out on Tuesday. Usually the Team of the Week stuff is the day after. It could be Tuesday. It could also be today. I don't know. I'm just making this video because I figure that both of these will come out today. And hopefully, you know, you guys can get on this video to hopefully help you prepare. So, this is interesting, right? 86 plus Team of the Week. You have how many players available in this pack? It's actually, this is basically like a Foot Champs upgrade, except it's just one player. You've got 30 players on that page, and then you've got like 15 to 20. So about 50 players. Now, you've obviously got Mbappe, Salah, Salah at 2 informs, Mane, Cancelo. So a lot of good players. Also, a lot of bad players, right? A lot of players that are like 17, 16K. But EA probably could put the premium on this. Now, EA's been releasing an 81 plus Team of the Week pack for a while now. They did an 80, now they did an 81. Now, this has always been like 12K. People are downvoting this, but to be honest with you guys, it's a nice SBC. It's a good SBC. I don't understand why people hate on this because, yes, I know informs are not expensive right now, but 10K a pop, and you can keep recycling if you don't get something, and people are being too greedy, man. We used to have the most overpriced SBCs. I could see this SBC last year being like 50K. So these have not been bad, and it makes me also think that this is not going to be that bad. Now, for this, you need an 83 squad, and 84s, you need 3 overall or higher. 3 84 overalls or higher in this SBC. And so what goes up is 84s because you have to use 3 84s and the rest 82s. 83s don't go up. So what is EA going to require for the 86? Well, let's see, right? Now, I don't think it'll be more than like 30K just because of the amount of really cheap cards that are, you know, in it. So right now, an 84 is how much? So an 84 right now, that sounds about right to me. Like, it sounds like an 84 sounds right at 24K. Now, some variables with this of what they could do, they could say like 84 rated, but you need 285 overall and higher players, you know? And in that case, what would happen is basically you'd have to go out and buy 285s. How much is Summer right now? So he's 8K, right? Or maybe it's 3, right? And that would put you about the price because for the rest of the SBC, you had to use 83s. You'd use 385 or overall or higher players. So I don't think you could go wrong with this. 85s are also very low. We know a couple weeks ago they got up to like 12, 13K. And I do think a lot of people will do this. You'll probably see 85s or whatever is required. If it is like a 30K SBC, whatever's the overall and higher rating could probably go up like 1 to 2K a card. So this should be really safe money if any of you guys are looking to invest. But yeah, that's also going to come out probably the day after this pack. So that's going to be it for the video today, guys. I don't want to ramble too long. I've been rambling forever. Thank you guys for watching, and good luck to you guys investing, and good luck in your packs. Peace.